Gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And the fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks.
In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
G'day, ladies and gents. Welcome back to Marathon Me with your host, Kane.
And Rhys.
And today, after, pretty much a quarter of this year spent to talk about the same director, we're finally here to do the one, the only, the Kevin Smith definitive ranking.
I cannot believe that we've spent a quarter of a year doing this. What the fuck? It doesn't even feel like that we're doing the same director because of all the different ways that he's changed and diverted. And it's like, this is the guy that made Clerks? What?
Oh my days. Dude, that's like how I felt when we started talking about the 2010s output. I'm like, this is still Kevin Smith, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Am I just trying to prank you and be like, the next movie that he did is Batman v Superman?
Oh yeah, this is a very long con you're doing, Rhys, I will say. I will say, very impressed though, very impressed. It is actually insane though, because I was looking through my letterbox and just like, from the start of the year, it's like, okay, Clerks, and then just watching random movies, and then just Clerks, then Mallrats, then Tusk, and blah, 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 and now here we are.
This is going to be our longest ranking because we are ranking 17, questionably 18 films in this, if you include holidays, and what a freaking mixed bag of movies.
Oh my days. Yeah, this is, I'd probably... Okay, definitively this is obviously this is the longest, like, I didn't even think about it until we started recording that this is the longest series that we've done. Like, I thought, Friday was, like, going to be our cash cow that we're milking,
Yeah, the 12 movies of Friday the 13th, but instead, the fucking 17 movies of this man right here.
Ridiculous, but,
that's what happens, I guess, if you choose a fairly self-obsessed dude.
Yeah, a dude that, makes movies, for people, but mostly for one person, himself.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest Kevin Smith fan being Kevin Smith himself.
I love that.
I love always asking this question. How did you find the marathoning experience of the Kevin Smith filmography?
I'd probably say this is the most... I'd say this is the most inconsistent of, especially director marathons that we've done, because we've done, this is our fourth director that we've tackled.
Yeah.
I'd say this is the most, because with Wes, with PTA, with Quentin, they were pretty much like of the same kind of quality, Yeah. They all had an air of quality to them, even the ones that we liked less than others. With this, there are films that are incredible, there are films that are, whatever, and then there is some real dog shit in here. So, I will say that this has been a very, very great, fun as fuck marathon to do, especially because, it's also nostalgic as well, because, obviously a lot of these films we watched during our formative years of, that formed our love of filmmaking, and then obviously also because, of the Kevin Smith marathon that we did circa 2020. So, and now here we are halfway through the decade doing it again.
I think that is the biggest amount of joy that I got from this was purely nostalgia based, because it has been a bit difficult to marathon these movies, because especially too when, like, you're already lugging through, like, okay, we've done 10 movies from this guy, and then they just get worse and worse, and it beats your spirits down,
and then some of them are just harder to find as well.
Yeah.
Oh my days, like, it's insane.
Yeah, to legally get one of them, you've got to freaking buy an NFT. We have not had to do that on Marathon Me before.
I know. I mean, hey, we're always want to challenge ourselves in life and in our professional careers as well, and here we are doing just that.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good point, that comparing to all of our other directors is that they all have a consistent style.
Yeah.
There is no consistency here at all.
I'd say probably there is a consistent style, at least for the beginning part of his filmography, and then it just goes fuck. We have different styles for different eras of Kevin Smith, as you've beautifully put in, as we've covered these episodes of the different eras of Kevin Smith that I never really noticed back in 2020, and even while doing these films this year. It's crazy.
And I love that you bring this up, because I want to take us on a little journey to summarize the different eras of Kevin Smith and how the fuck we go from Clerks to Kilroy.
Beautiful.
And here it is. So, the first era that I want to call for Kevin Smith's career is the candy store era. It started off as Kevin Smith being a kid in this candy store of the film industry, makes this breakout hit with Clerks, and then creates his own film universe, only casting his friends essentially, and actors that he likes, but then later become his friends, and essentially playing in a sandbox of the viewer's universe of that he's created his whole by himself essentially, and with the love given by all the rest of his friends in this viewer's universe, and breakout hit with Clerks gives him this confidence that maybe this whole film industry, you can freaking tie this whole thing around your finger, Kevin.
Yeah.
It is yours. Gets his first big sort of production from a studio with Mallrats, and then keeps on going with these sort of really true to form Kevin Smith movies, with Chasing Amy, Dogma, eventually ending with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and him closing the viewer's universe. Because he thinks, you know what? I'm done with this era. I want to move on to my second stage, my second form.
Let's hear it.
The Rebellion era, where he refuses to be a big kid in the sandbox of life, and instead, he wants to make something more mainstream, show that he's a real filmmaker, with things like Jersey Girl, Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and Cop Out. But the mistake that he makes here is that he starts making other people's films. These aren't Kevin Smith films.
No.
Zack and Miri's a Judd Apatow movie. Cop Out is some sort of it's literally someone else's movie with a different with another writer.
Cop Out is a Bruce Willis movie that would have been made in the late 2010s that no one would have fucking watched. It would have gone straight to streaming, straight to DVD. Instead, big budget release. Here we fucking are. Whoop-de-doo.
Exactly. And Jersey Girl is the crowd pleaser that most of his films, his parents never really liked.
Yeah.
And this was sort of like how do I make a mum-friendly movie?
Yeah.
I make Jersey Girl. And that's what he did. But I think he had a bit of an identity crisis around here, right? Where he starts to lose himself.
Yeah.
And something big happens to Kevin after Zack and Miri. He falls in love with the green. He shares a joint with Seth Rogen, which would turn any freaking Catholic straight edge motherfucker into a certified stoner.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he starts getting into his third phase, which I would call his stoner angst phase. Where he starts, his budgets get a lot lower.
That's a better name to put it than I would have put it. I would have put it just the Bizarro era, man.
The shit show.
Shit show works better as well. Yeah, Bizarro, shit show, the Dark Ages.
Yeah, and I think it is when he sort of starts giving no shits anymore at this point, and he discovers weed and is more of a podcaster than a filmmaker at this point in his life. He starts off pretty good with Red State, in my opinion, and then goes a little bit off the rails with No Limitation, it feels like. It feels like he's already got his whole life set, so why say no to any idea that he has?
Yeah.
And then that has movies like Tusk and Yoga Hoses, Holidays, and even like Kilroy is, I would say, officially a part of this era.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I mean, hell, obviously it came out in the 2020s, but you explained it, it was supposed to come out, late 2010s, during... I think what you said, shortly after Yoga Hoses, so it fits perfectly into that period. That saga, as you would.
And it's pre the life-changing moment that thrusts Kevin, without his own wanting of this happening, into his fourth phase, and the phase that we're now in with this man, which is his near-death existentialism phase, which after Yoga and Kilroy, the man experiences a heart attack. It almost dies, making him face death and forcing him to go back to his roots and revisit the characters that truly shaped him and who Kevin Smith is known as in the first place. And he almost wants to say goodbye for the last time to these characters that made him successful in the first place, and even literally killing some of them off. Rest in peace, Dante Hicks.
Rest in peace. You weren't even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to be here today. and it's I really love this one quote that Kevin says in this documentary about Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which is his heart attack movie.
Yeah.
That's the most Kevin Smith movie that could exist.
Exactly. It is the most self-indulgent Kevin Smith movie, but for better and for worse, I'd say.
Yeah. And he says this interesting thing that may explain the diminishing returns with the quality of these movies as he goes on into his 15th, 16th, 17th film.
Yeah.
Is that he starts talking to the camera and talks about how people always ask him to make another Chasing Amy, make a meaningful, authentic film.
Make something real, man.
Yeah. And he says, I can't make another Chasing Amy because that shit hurt. That came out of him at a point of his life where he's still forming. He's still this. It came from a man brokenhearted who was experienced freshly with his open wounds of being a young man discovering life for the first time, how to love, how not to love, and all those sort of things. And he said that it was a painful experience to make it, but that's what made it so good.
Yeah.
And he says the happy people don't make good art.
That's a great fucking quote. That is so true, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite pieces of art, it comes from deep sadness, deep pain, deep anger, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, fucking hell.
And I think Yoga Hosers is a movie made from a very happy man.
See, and that doesn't make good art. That doesn't make good art. Hey, the Doors debut album, that wasn't a good album because Jim Morrison was a happy man. No.
Yeah. Man, fucking Magnolia, right? Magnolia,
exactly.
One of my favorite freaking movies ever done for the podcast is only a product of pain.
Exactly, man. Fucking hell. That's so true.
And I think that quote, like he's man, Kevin Smith, he loves to talk. And it's sometimes difficult to even, pay attention to some of the things that he says because he just talks so much, right?
He tends to waffle a little bit.
Yeah.
Sounds like two individuals that I know way too well.
Yeah, exactly. May or may not be in this room as we speak. But this line cut fucking deep and shows a little bit of self-awareness as well.
Oh, completely.
That he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I think without further ado, I want to hear a little bit about your ranking, Kane.
I
Please tell me. Get out those notes and rank for me all. Do you include the 18th film? Do you include his Holidays short?
I wasn't sure if we were going to include Holidays, but
I don't want to personally.
Yeah, while compiling it, I was like, it's just because it does. I don't think it really matters, honestly. Like the shorts, whatever. It was one of the better shorts from Holidays. That's all I can really say, honestly. I had a mild enjoying time with it, honestly.
Because also, it's like, it's not the only short that this man has made as well, right? It's like, do we include the frickin' the movie that he made in college with Scott Mosier called Mayday, The Crumbling of a Documentary?
See, I can't even include that because I haven't seen it.
Do we include The Flying Car, which is a short film that has Dante and Randall stuck in traffic?
No, I did. What the fuck? I did not even know that.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I brought it up in Clerks 2, but that's okay. Very easy to forget that.
Yeah.
So, do we include Hollyweed, his fucking TV show that he made? Like, we
do we include the TV shows? Oh my days.
So, I think that, we'll keep it to 17.
Yeah, okay.
I want to hear your top 17.
Well, okay, so before going into the marathon, I thought this was going to be very definitive what the bottom was. And it was a bit like, and then initially while watching some of these movies, I was like, oh, okay, this might be maybe difficult. Okay, there's like a lot of stuff that like I'm changing my opinions on. Bottom spot though, no, that was an easy choice. That was so fucking easy. The last and the worst is Cop Out. Because not only is it terrible, but it commits the great sin of being fucking boring. It is boring. Yes, it made me angry and annoyed, but for the most part, those were sporadic. It's just a boring nothing burger of a movie, and it's the only reason I remember it is because we're talking about it for the podcast, and that's all that needs to be said. I'm sorry, Bruce Willis, but Jesus Christ, man. And Kevin, come on, mate. Pull up, mate. Come on. Don't be making a sequel. Don't be making a sequel anytime soon is all I'm saying. Alright? But if we want to talk about boring films, Rhys, we got one that is only a step above because it's under an hour long. Number 16 is Kilroy Was Here.
Oh, okay.
Literally only because it is mercifully short and it's a failure in all aspects. It's not scary, it's not fun, the acting's terrible, the kills fucking suck. It's a nothing burger of a movie, but yeah, like I said, it's mercifully short, okay? And I got some enjoyment. I don't know where. I remember maybe enjoying one or two sequences. That's it, okay? But if we want to talk about the films that got me angry, now I'm surprised. Well, not surprised by this film, but the next film. But number 15 is Jay and Silent Bob Super Groovy Cartoon Movie. The most juvenile bullshit. It's like if you made South Park, you take out all the fun, all the nuance, all the good writing, and just front load it with the most just horrible 12-year-old humor ever. It's like Kevin Smith wrote this movie when he was 12 years old, forgot about the script for 20 years, 30 years, I don't know the timeline, but then decided, you know what, I'm gonna make this, and it is fucking dreadful, absolutely dreadful, terrible fucking film, and I hate that I now have the pleasure of owning this on DVD.
I did.
Fuck you,
I did
Rhys.
gift this to Kane the other day, last time that I saw him, so you can put that on your shelf of shit, right next to the Fanatic, right next to the Room, right next to the 41-year-old virgin who knocked up Sarah Marshall and felt super bad about it.
Right next to American Pie Presents Bandcamp.
Yeah.
God fucking bless. But so we get to number 14, and I'm actually genuinely surprised that this was not last place, but at the same time, there's stuff that I can enjoy. Number 14 is Yoga Hosers. Okay, it's dog shit, it's terrible, annoying, unfunny, boring in some places, but I actually felt emotions from this movie. And, like, obviously anger, but there was some moments where I'm like, you know what? It's awful, but you know what? I'm at least having fun watching this. It's terrible, but I at least enjoyed my time, I'd say. And also, I will always have the memories of watching this back in 2014 and just being fucking repulsed by it. Absolutely repulsed by it. And you know what? This is a movie that I will happily show people just to put them through some real shit. I cannot wait to show my girlfriend this movie.
Aww,
I'm so excited,
you
honestly.
sadist.
I know. But hey, you know what? That's just part of the Kane Milklet charm, baby. Mwah. But so I feel that we've left the shit show, right?
Oh.
We're at the films that I'm just kind of like, a bit like or like I like it, but I just don't love it. I have my issues, blah blah. That's why number 13 is I'm Sorry, Rhys, Red State.
Oh, what?
I think Kevin Smith trying his hand at horror and something more gritty, grounded, and something to really shock audiences. I really respect the ambition. I just found myself struggling to really connect with it and love it the way that you and other audience members and Kevin Smith do as well. Also, the ending scene fucking sucks as well. This film maybe would have been a bit higher if it had ended the way that we wanted it to end in the podcast episode. You guys have to listen to that to understand, okay? But anyways, I digress. We get to number 12, and it was a pleasant surprise, this movie, but the 4:30 movie, a film that I thought was going to be kind of just whatever. It's a cute film, but it's just that. It's a cute film. I enjoyed my time with it, and it's saying something about Kevin Smith and his childhood and love for movies and what have you. But at the end of the day, it's just a cute time that I'm not really gonna revisit, honestly. I don't ever see myself coming back to it. But, that's okay. It's not for me. Maybe it might be for someone else. But we get to 11 for the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I was a bit disappointed by this. This is probably one of my bigger disappointments with the marathoning process, because I loved this when we first watched it. And it is the most self-indulgent Kevin Smith movie, for better and for worse. A lot of it doesn't work, but you know what? As the start of this new era of Kevin Smith where he actually decides, hey, I'm going to make good films again, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. And that's just it. It's an okay film. I think it's fine.
It feels real, at least, right?
Exactly. Oh, completely, man. Completely. Especially to come after, the holiday segment and Yoga Hosers. This is, high art compared to those. Jesus Christ. So, we get to the top 10. We get to the top 10. Number 10 is You know it, you love it, a lot of people hate it. It is Tusk. Tusk, a movie that is as frustrating as it is quite enjoyable. I stand by this. The horror and the subtle humor that they use in this, the dark humor, I think is genuinely so fucking good. I genuinely enjoy it so much. But there is just a Johnny Depp-sized whole elephant in the room, what have you, that just derails it. That as much as I really love the stuff in this movie that works, Johnny Depp just sticks his fucking French-Canadian placid nose into it and just ruins the time and the pacing as well.
I still don't get why you don't like him in the movie. I still don't understand it.
Okay, what are you, Kevin Smith right now? Yeah. You Kevin Smith and Johnny Depp trying to convince me otherwise? Mate, come on. But, hey, you know what? Let's talk about something a bit more romantic, alright? Number 9 is Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Right in the middle.
Exactly, right in the middle. And, you know what? It doesn't have the strong of an impact as it did back in 2020, okay? But I think it's a fine little movie that has a really sweet romantic edge to it that really hits hard, especially because having watched this before getting into my first relationship in so fucking long, it's a nice film that fills me with some nice emotions. That is, it's as funny almost as it is unfunny almost, you know. But I digress. But stop the humor. Let's get to something a bit more sad. Let's talk about Clerks 3 at number 8. A film that on its own, if we're talking filmmaking-wise, it's not really that great, honestly. It's not funny, it's kind of poorly directed, it's shot badly, the acting can range from really fucking great to kind of whatever, jokes do not land, but at the end of the day, I cannot look past the fact that I get to see these characters one more time, and the memories that I had watching this back in 2020, and even 2025, sobbing like a fucking bitch. And also, they play the Black Parade at the start of the movie. Like, come on, I can't look past that. Like, as much as a lot of it doesn't work, I will always have a soft spot for this movie. I can't look past that, alright? You know.
Very fair.
Exactly. But, you know, let's get to some... enough of the sadness. Funny, alright? Funny, guys. Number 7, and this is so fucking funny, honestly. Number 7 is Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, which is hilarious because for the 2020 ranking that we did back in the day, this was number 2. This was number 2 on my ranking, and it's gone down to 7 because having watched it so many times, it's just not as funny as it used to be. But it's still a great time with, you know, as many jokes that don't work, the jokes that hit, they still fucking hit. And best of all, it's a stupid fucking comedy that actually says something and has a lot of fun with just what it's doing. You can tell this is, like, Kevin is having a ball doing this, and it is infectious, and you can feel it just coming off the screen, you know what I mean?
What a labor of love that movie is, right?
Oh, completely, you know? But let's get to something a bit more cartoony, but also a bit more chill as well. We're going back to 1995 with Mallrats. Now, I don't love this film as much as I used to back in the day, but there's just something so cozy and chill about the early years of Kevin Smith, especially this movie. It's just a simple rom-com and just about two dudes just hanging out in a mall that just hits close to home for, you know, our childhoods and a lot of other people's childhoods back in the day. Plus, you got Jason Lee. I can't look past that. I can't not at least have a fun time with my boy Brody in that beautiful brown jacket that I will one day have, lads.
The king of charisma, that man.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. You might have to hold your tongue for that quote, because number 5, we've got Chasing Amy.
Oh, okay.
A film that I, have just grown to really appreciate. Now, obviously, Elephant in the Room, you know, a movie about a gay woman and talking about gay themes written by a straight white male. You can't ignore that, and it does show its age. And also, a lot of it can be uncomfortable, especially with the portrayal of Banky by Jason Lee. It is uncomfortable, but it's also a really fascinating watch. Just the way that it talks about, you know, male rage and aggression, and also just the more conservative viewpoints versus also the more open viewpoints of contemporary mid-90s no, not mid, late 1990s, and just, you know, the sign of the times changing. It's just it's a fascinating time that, again, it's a really cozy watch, honestly. Like, I just felt so just, like, calm watching it, even if I also felt extremely uncomfortable. Fucking hell. But hey, we want to talk. Hey, if we want to go for something more comfortable, less, you know. Oh, Jesus. We're going number 4, Jersey Girl.
Oh, what?
I loved my time watching this.
What the That is very strange.
There is only 2 Kevin Smith movies that have made me cry, and this is the other one.
Damn.
Trust me, Rhys,
the crowd pleaser, it pleased the crowd.
Rhys, audience members, I am genuinely shocked how high this is and how much I love this. It's a crowd pleaser, it's cheesy, it's really fucking, it's like family friendly. I don't care. I had a lovely time watching this, and I could see myself watching this again. I'd happily watch this again, honestly, man.
Okay, that's what we're doing tonight. Jersey Girl, round 2.
Beautiful. Let's all just get drunk and just watch Jersey Girl. Oh, you can imagine Lawrence watching this? I feel like Lawrence would hate it.
He would hate it. I think most people would not be into this. They'd be like, why are you showing me this? This is every movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, my days. Fucking hell. But hey, you know what? Enough about Jersey Girl. I will defend that movie, but you know what? Let's get to the top 3. The big 3, boys, alright? Number 3 is Kevin's first big blockbuster with Dogma. A film that I always flip-flop between. I either really love it or I think it's just okay. And this time around, I had a blast watching it. I think this is arguably one of Kevin's funniest films that he's ever done. And just the high-stakes nature of this storyline with the journey that the characters are going on, and also just, it's a movie that has fucking an end-of-the-world fucking dilemma going on that doesn't feel like, you know, your superhero movie slop or whatever. I'm invested in these characters, even if I don't love the protagonist all that much. Just the camaraderie with the entire gang on this noble quest crusade is so great, and there's genuine moments of tense thriller-esque moments, especially that sequence on the train.
So good, yeah.
Fucking incredible. Also, this is Jay and Silent Bob at their absolute best, in my opinion. Absolute fucking best. Now, if we want to talk dramatically, Kevin Smith at his absolute best, number 2 is Clerks 2.
Very nice.
A film that I don't, again, it suffers from the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back treatment, where I've watched it so many times that the jokes that I thought were so funny at 13 just don't land or hit as hard as they used to. They still hit, just not as hard. However, what hits even harder these days is the drama. The drama between our 3 central characters, Dante, Randall, and Becky. Oh my fucking god. Especially the conversations between Dante and Randall in that prison cell, and that fucking ending. I will also say fuck Clerks 3, because that ending, oh my days, is so beautiful. But now it also breaks my heart watching it as well. I can't look past. Oh my days. Like, I get emotional talking about Clerks 2, man. Jesus Christ. But if we want to talk about absolute cinema, number 1's Clerks. I didn't want to be that guy and be like the one that started it all, but like, honestly, I kind of knew going in that Clerks was going to be the best. Clerks was going to be number 1 because it's not only funny, it's not only like just a really impressive feat from a first-time director, it also just, it hits so fucking hard because of the dynamic between these 2 characters at this age that my partner Rhys and I are at right now, and the similar dilemmas that these characters go through, that what we are going through right now. This might have been the most hard-hitting that this film that I initially wrote off as just a stupid fucking comedy when I was younger. It hits so much fucking harder now, and it's in my fucking, I'd say this is in my top 10 of movies, man. It is, it makes me sound like a film bro, I know, but I don't care, because it just scratches me in that personal way that just, it hits hard, you know? Hits hard, and I love it so fucking much. Kevin, thank you. Thank you, my man.
You know what else hits hard? What? That ranking, my bro.
Oh, thank you, Rhys. Thank you.
That was done very, very nicely. Summarizing 17 movies in less than 17 minutes. Good job.
I will say, quite impressed, especially, you know, if you remember back to our first ranking with the Scream movies, just me waffling on about them, even though we just talked about them in other episodes. Like, this is a nice full circle moment, you know?
You did well, dude. You did very, very well.
Thank you.
Also, I like your ranking. I like that also...
There were some surprises. There were some surprises for you.
Fucking Jersey Girl, man. What? What the fuck?
I'm an emotional viewer, Rhys. I'm an emotional viewer, man.
You're honest.
Exactly.
Honest. That's okay.
I tell it like it is.
Yeah,
boys.
exactly.
I tell it like it is.
I don't bullshit. Okay, I am gonna go in to my ranking in 3, 2, 1. So to start the list, I have to go with the least favorite Kevin Smith movie here, and is technically the only one that he has not directed. It is Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, this is not a surprise at all with my review, because holy shit, what got this down the bottom? Because you're right, there are a lot of pretty shitty Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit difficult to almost put all together what are the worst of the worst.
You have to kind of like put into perspective, like what is the worst as a film, but also what's the worst kind of experience, and what's like it made you feel the worst emotions, or like just lack thereof. Obviously, with mine being Cop Out, you know.
Yeah, this one is there because of just how viscerally angry it made me feel. It made me feel like I came across a YouTube video that I was way too old to be watching.
Yeah, that a friend made you just force you to sit there and watch. It's like, oh, dude, this is so funny.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Oh my god. Okay, get ready for this part.
Yeah,
and
fucking
I'm just
painful.
cringing out of my mind. Okay, so I had a housemate who had a boyfriend at the time who I remember after a good night out, we all came back to my place and it was like 3 a.m. I was quite drunk, and he sat me down and was like, man, have you seen the Mortal Kombat movie? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And he's like, it's the funniest thing in the world, especially all the Kano scenes are so funny. So he sits me down and plays
the old one, right?
I'm talking about the new one.
Oh, the new one?
The new Mortal Kombat movie.
Never watched it.
He sits me down and then shows me a compilation on YouTube of all of Kano's funniest moments. And it's just like action movie, you know, fucking Marvel sort of comedy of like, you know, a big battle goes on and then Kano's like, oh, crikey, that was a close one.
Yeah.
And he's pissing himself laughing, looking at me, being like, this is so funny, right? This is so funny. And I was so uncomfortable for those 7 minutes of just going, yeah.
Oh my god.
Ruined the fucking vibe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Nah,
he'll
fair.
never listen to this, so I'm just gonna say that. Okay.
Why don't you name him then, pussy?
Theo.
Oh,
His name was Theo.
Theo. Come on, mate.
Theo
Anyways.
loved Kano. That's what we know. Hey, you're Kano, man.
That's my fucking nickname at work. Don't call me that.
Okay. Don't you dare.
Don't use that name, mate.
Okay, I'll be quicker with all the rest. So, my number 16 position, my second worst, goes to one that made me not as angry, but bored me a lot more.
Okay.
Kilroy was here.
Yeah, fair.
Both of the bottom two being barely a feature film. This one just fucking reeked of amateurism.
Oh, completely. Especially for a director so deep into the career.
How can a man make freaking 10 plus feature films and then make Kilroy?
Oh, I know.
What?
Man. I know. It's insane. I've seen better quality in a fucking uni student's first project, mate.
I don't think anyone cared for this one, and and it exists in this strange part of history where it is more an NFT than it is a freaking movie. But probably a very, very movie-like movie here is my number 15 position, which is Cop Out. I didn't hate it as much as the first time watching it.
Yeah, right.
But there's nothing to write home about here.
No.
It is a movie about nothing. The main characters end up in the same position that they were at the start of the movie, if not worse versions of
Oh,
themselves.
completely.
Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan are supposed to grow out of their childish antics, and instead they become even more irrational and dangerous to the world.
Exactly. Tracy Morgan pulls a gun on Jason Lee at the very end of the movie. That should say everything about this fucking film.
What
and Bruce
the
Willis
fuck?
is still a fucking man-child who just cannot let his pride go.
Exactly. And
Jesus.
that's why I think that this movie is a little bit bad for the world. The next thing, Yoga Hoses, my number 14 entry, not as terrible for the world, because you know, at least it got Harley Quinn Smith and Kevin Smith making a movie together.
Yeah.
That's a bit sweet, right?
Yeah, you can tell it was a labor of love. Even if the movie sucks dick, you could tell there was love behind it at the very least.
Yeah, this is Kevin Smith, a very happy filmmaker, making this movie, but again, is about absolutely zero.
Yeah.
What character development happens in this movie? None. But it is very interesting that a movie came out in the late 2010s with Austin Butler, Lily Rose Depp, has Johnny Depp in it,
Fascinating.
and and it is fucking lost in history.
The only reason I can give this film a compliment is that it paved the way for Elvis and for the chick from Nosferatu whose name I've forgotten. But you know what?
Lily Rose Depp.
No, her character's name, I mean.
Oh, okay,
It's not the
okay.
name of the actor.
Yeah, fair.
The funny lady that does the seizure in the new Nosferatu.
Yeah, best comedy of the last year. But then this is a bit hard to put. So that is the like difficult to get through movies.
Yeah.
Now it gets to just sort of bad films,
Yeah.
and my next one is Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Oh, damn.
It's pretty low
Yeah.
because it just cringes the hell out of me. And
Fair,
on this
man.
rewatch, I really noticed how amateur-esque this one was as well. And at least it's a good force for the world because of letting Kevin get out his grievances. You know, say
Yeah.
goodbye to a lot of these characters and make
Yeah.
the most Kevin Smith movie that could ever be made.
At the very least, the man was enjoying himself. Even if we personally don't love the film, I'm sure he loves it.
But it definitely is. It should be called Jay and Silent Bob Vanity Fair because this is the biggest vanity project that I've seen from a filmmaker since Megalopolis, probably.
Oh god, no! I think Megalopolis is so much fucking worse, man. At least I could sit through Jane Silent Bob reboot.
I think that when I think of Jay and Silent Bob reboot and not liking it, I think of the green weed smoke coming out at the end and just how much it made me cringe.
Yeah, but then you've also got the golden fucking Adam Driver in Megalopolis.
Yeah.
Which one's worse, guys?
But-
let us know in the comments below.
I think that I could laugh a lot more at Megalopolis for attempting to be good.
Maybe I'm just sour for my theater experience, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But my next position, which is my number 12, is the 4:30 movie, which isn't awful. It's also not great.
No.
It's not very memorable. That's the most nothing film in this filmography.
Damn.
And then at the end, making it a prequel to Clerks, very strange.
Well, more so a prequel to the creation of Clerks rather than a prequel to the movie Clerks, I feel. That's what I got from the film.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you not?
well, in a way, like Austin is gonna go work at the Quick Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
because Austin's clearly a stand-in for Kevin.
yeah, but
Yeah.
also Dante's a stand-in for Kevin.
Yeah, but like I got more Kevin than Dante stand-in. You know what I mean?
They're all one and the same.
Look, it's Kevin Smith. So many of these characters are fucking stand-ins for the man himself.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly. and with this movie, when I think of it, I also think like, did I really want to see like an 80s nostalgia piece from Kevin Smith?
In 2025.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nah.
And the insulting nature that this is a movie to come after Clerks 3, where you probably should have just called it a day.
Legit. If there's one thing that like this film, it didn't need to happen. You should have just capped it at Clerks 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Would have been a perfect ending.
But the next one, I literally just now got a notification on my phone from YouTube from Kevin Smith's Smod Castle Cinemas box office breakdown. So, interesting.
He's listening, bro. He's listening.
And anyway, he is listening. But sorry, Kevin, I'm going to talk about a movie that you bring up a lot when you talk about your downfall, which is Jersey Girl. Is my number 11
Come
spot.
on, man. You're mean.
Again, it just doesn't. It doesn't have its own personality, I feel, and that is what it's missing compared to a lot of other films. I feel like I don't even need to go any deeper into it. It couldn't even save it that the main character's a publicist, and I could be like, ooh, I'm a publicist too. couldn't help it. But this one might hurt. My number 10 position, and this shows how we rank things differently, is Clerks 3. Which,
damn. I mean, in a way, damn, but also, I kind of see it.
It's more just like how there's so much good, but there's so much bad in this.
Completely agree, man.
And it's the inability to like set up simple shots and how no one knows how to frame this thing. The weird, awkward like positioning of this is the worst blocked movie I've seen in a very long time.
Oh yeah, no, completely agree. Like again, we have to obviously there is the point of it was filmed during COVID, but we shouldn't let that be an excuse for how choppy and fucking shitty this film looks.
There's a lot better movies out there that were also filmed during COVID.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I can't let that be forgiven.
Yeah, it can't be an excuse.
Even though that this experience with Clerks 3 has moved me every single fucking time. But if you take out that third act, those first two are bad. Are really bad. Those first two acts are probably Yoga Hoses level, if not worse.
No. I would not go that far.
The blockchain NFT
No,
bullshit.
okay, that is garbage. There's moments that I don't... Look, there's bad moments, there's okay moments. I don't think it's Yoga Hoses level, though. The NFT stuff, that is close. I don't think it reaches Yoga Hoses personally.
In my opinion,
Fair enough. It's your rankings, fair enough.
It's I think worse than Reboot in terms of like actually putting together a movie. But
yeah, fair. It's your ranking. I won't yell at you.
So now it takes me to my middle, number 9 position. Right in the middle is Tusk.
Okay.
Which a lot to like there,
Higher than mine,
especially the moments of vulnerability in this film. Fan-frickin-tastic, but you can't get over that it feels so much just like an inside joke that maybe shouldn't have existed outside of the realm of the Smod Castle, you know? Outside of the realm of a podcast stoner joke.
Fair.
Next, which is probably my biggest traveling one that it disappointed me in this rewatch, number 8 is Zack and Miri Make a Porno, which...
Heartbreaking for old mate over here.
I still have blue balls from this film in the way that, oh my god, it disappointed me. The jokes do not land, the theming almost gets there, and then it manipulates you to think it's good with the one good scene when Zack and Miri finally get together. And it tricked me as a kid. It made me think this is what romance is. And it's actually, what you're witnessing are two very, very flawed but shallow, undeveloped characters falling in love. And it did not give me what I needed this time around. And besides 2 scenes, the lovemaking scene, and then when they later, the party, and then the ending is good, but then literally only those. And it makes me think, is this an adequate filmmaker? Or did he get lucky? Like, as in, did he get lucky with this combination of things that just worked? The music, had a good cinematographer that knew how to frame this particular scene. That's what it makes me think of. But as a film overall, I think it's a bit of a failure.
Damn.
But the next one, which is probably a massive success for Kevin Smith, number 7 is Dogma, which is really interesting. It has a lot to say, these grand, big things, but it didn't really attach to me as much as I thought that it would. And I feel that there's just too many holes to really give it that like amazing status, you know?
Yeah, no, like I agree with that, but yeah, fair enough.
And what gives it the integrity that it has is the talent that it's relying on, right? With frickin' Matt
Damon, Ben Affleck, Chris Rock,
Alan Rickman. It's all those. It's
Alanis
those players.
Morissette as God herself. Come on, boys.
It's those people that make this movie good. And I think that without that, you wouldn't really have much to write home about. But my next one, which attached to me a lot more, my number 6 is Red State. It is the best attempt at horror that he has had. Really great tension, really good vision, and so fucking ahead of its time. Insane that this man went for this anti-conservative, like almost Trump era. Like, it would, if this came out now, it would be in a freaking ocean of anti-conservative, anti-Trump horrors and horror and thrillers. Yeah. But instead, this came out in a time before he was even running for office. And I have to admire that. And if it wasn't for the cop-out ending, where they legitimately changed the ending because they didn't have enough money for what the ending should have been, then this would be much higher for me even.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it would be easier to recommend. A film that becomes a lot harder to recommend now is my number 5, which is Chasing Amy. Which has it's a very interesting film that I think almost gets its most value out of its flaws. Yeah. Out of its straight, young, white man's perspective of what it is to be a progressive, open, bisexual woman. that almost makes it more interesting because of how he doesn't really get it all the way yet.
It is very much like, I think a perfect way to surmise it is one of the most fascinating products of its time.
Yes, yeah. And I think what adds to it is that our two main protagonists are two men that also just don't get it yet.
Yeah.
And they think that they do. But what makes it a good movie, I think, is that these characters don't get their happily ever after. They are sort of thrown into their life, losing their freaking love interest, and instead having to go on and realize that they don't really get it yet.
Yeah.
And it's up to them to experience a little bit more of life to finally get there. So, yeah, but now, so we're in my top 5 already. Woo! My number 4 is Clerks 2, which...
Wow, damn, okay, fucking hell.
Is beautiful film, has so much going on for it, especially for Randall to shine and for all the dynamic between our like main 3, especially 2, just like, I adore the weird sort of ugly aesthetic of this film.
Oh yeah, no, dude.
I really, really love that. So, because of that, Clerks 2 has so much personality going for it. Probably, debatably, one of the biggest personalities out of Kevin Smith's filmography that really exists in its own little bubble.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's why it's ranked so high. And because of all the emotionally resonating parts of this, where I think that forever the Randall Dante jail cell scene will live rent-free in my mind.
Oh, just to interject for a second, I completely forgot to mention this and I'm so ashamed, but also, Clerks 2 being number 2, also, it was my first Kevin Smith movie as well, so there's also that nostalgia as well. Anyways, go on. I just needed to get that out.
No worries. So, top 3 now. My number 3...
Oh, man, I'm excited.
A really, really big shift.
Yeah.
Mallrats.
Damn.
Mallrats really freaking hit for me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like with time, because Mallrats exists more in my consciousness because of the soundtrack. With this magical CD that found itself in my car the afternoon that I got broken up with as a freaking 20-year-old. Maybe it's the magic in that really skews me to this, but rewatching it, I really saw, like, the kid in the candy store, Kevin Smith, getting a buttload of money and freedom now to explore the sandbox. You don't have to be confined to the inner space of the quick stop anymore. And let's see what this guy can do. And he just makes something so fun, so personal, and with so much charm to it. And that feels like a time capsule to me, that movie.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't give me as many laughs and give me that big dumb grin on my face that Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back gave me.
This is insane, dude. It was number 2 for me now. Oh my days, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, go on, let me hear you out.
That really, really shot up a lot of steps for me.
This actually blows my mind, man.
Because of just how authentic it felt, and wow, with Yoga Hoses was a labor of love, but you don't feel the love watching that movie. This movie, you feel the freaking love.
Yes.
And just the concept, too, that Miramax gave Kevin Smith $10 million to make his inside joke blockbuster.
This is the inside joke movie that works. Tusk, while we like bits of it, this is the real good inside joke movie.
Yeah, man, and also interesting perspective too for like a stoner comedy to be made by a non-stoner at that point.
Oh yeah, true.
So it's almost like he's just. It makes me think that always in his soul he was a stoner, liking to laugh at dumb shit and not take life too seriously.
Yeah.
And that's what Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back does.
Yeah.
Is that it almost ironically takes the viewer's universe very seriously, and then is a little love letter, a final piece to the puzzle before closing that book at that point in his filmography. But we do share our number 1 pick.
Here we go.
Which is Clerks. Which, wow, Clerks is lightning in a frickin' bottle.
It's unsurprising. Part of me was kind of hoping that we'd have different answers, but like at the same time, it was pretty obvious. I feel like it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, agreed. With Clerks, it feels almost accidental in how good it is. Is that all of its flaws, all of its limitations and restrictions is what made it the movie that we know today and what keeps it so freaking iconic. And just like the the theming and black comedy behind the entire thing is so freaking potent to this day. And now us being even surpassing the life stage that these boys are in.
Older than them, dude.
We're older than freaking Dante and Randall.
We've shifted character dynamics with Dante and Randall as well, you know, at this point in our age.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
I feel a little bit more laid back like Randall, like, take it easy, man.
And I feel a lot more existential and just like fucking like the position of my life like Dante. It's fucking insane with little traces of Randall still inside. You've got the traces of Dante still inside. It's like it's bizarre, man.
Yeah,
fucking hell.
Legitimately, at this point in time, when I see Kane a lot of the time, he's there telling me, oh, I'm gonna quit my job, dude. I'm gonna do it. I swear to God.
Literally, as of this recording, I was telling him that on the way over to start this episode, and fucking hell, man, it's Jesus.
You woke
Christ.
up this morning to a call from your boss being like, you gotta be in at work.
Yeah.
That's how fucking Clerks begins.
I know. Hey, to be fair, I was actually supposed to be there today.
Oh, okay.
But the reference is still valid, though. The reference is still valid. Don't worry.
But there is my ranking. That's what I have to say.
Beautiful fucking ranking, man. Fucking hell. There were, obviously there are films that I'm like, oh, man, you ranked that pretty low. But also, to be fair, like... I'm not surprised, it's mainly the Jersey Girl thing. But at the same time, I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah.
I'm a bit surprised by Clerks too, honestly, being at number 4. I thought that would have been, same as me, number 2. But, respect. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, that is the craziest one, because that... Actually, we'll get into that more so with a little present that you have for us, Rhys, eh?
Okay, so, Kane and I, because this is not the first time we've marathoned them together... We watched these in 2020 together in a big marathon, and
as we've said so many fucking times during this series,
and because we are massive nerds, we made a ranking at the time anyway. Mm-hmm. And maybe some of my biggest highlights here is that my original number 1 was Chasing Amy.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, knew it.
Really,
That's
really,
crazy.
that was forever my favorite Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah.
And it only took this rewatch of being, growing up a little bit more.
Yeah.
To see its holes, to see its flaws, and also see that it's like, okay, these two main characters are actually not people to get behind.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we want to talk about Chasing Amy for me back in 2020 was at number 9.
Damn.
I didn't love this movie. I thought it was just okay back in the day, and despite its flaws, I really enjoy it. Really love it.
Also noting too that this list was made pre-Clerks 3 coming out, pre-Kilroy was here, and pre-4:30 movie,
and just off the back of Jan Silent Bob reboot. It just came out maybe a couple months before we did this rank. Because for reference, this ranking was done. I want to say, I'd say probably mid-June, I want to say. Right before the second Melbourne lockdown happened.
Yeah, totally. And also some other ones here is Red State, I'd really fucking low. Also, Jersey Girl was my number 5.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So Jersey Girl went down a lot, and Mallrats was my number 7.
Wow.
So Mallrats went up by a lot. And you're right, Jane Silent Bob went up by heaps too.
That's
Jane Silent Bob
crazy.
Strike Back, because that was my number 8.
Wow.
So I went from middle of the road to second favorite.
Wow. Well, if you want to talk about some interesting choices, obviously Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, that was number 2 for me.
Oh.
Absolute number 2, which I guess it still hit back in the day. It still hit as hard as it did as a teenager. But with my days, I can't believe this, dude. Actually, you know what? I think it was because of the experience. I got the cartoon movie at 11. But I genuinely think it's because, well, actually, you know what? I think it's 2 reasons. One, I was more susceptible to the juvenile humor of that movie as a 19-year-old man. But also just watching you just absolutely rage during it. I got such a kick out of it. You know what? I think because I watched this movie alone this year, that just pushed me over the edge. Absolute over the edge.
This is not an alone movie.
No, God, fucking no, Jesus Christ. And then also, of course, we've got Jersey Girl, for me, at number 8 back in 2020, and now in my top fucking 5.
Yeah, that's
Mate,
crazy.
I've just become a bit of a softie in my old age. What can I say, boys?
Yeah, the sentimental Kane has come out.
Exactly. But hey, you know what? At the very least, Cop Out is still dead last.
Oh, okay.
Some things never change, boys. Some things never change.
Yeah, my only last thing that I want to highlight is my number 3 in my original list was Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Wow.
So it went from number 3 to like around the middle, around the middle to number 8.
I'm getting so nostalgic because, like, all right. So for the record, I have my Kevin Smith ranking on my notes app. Rhys has a full piece of paper that is still in existence today. That he was able to find like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. I
Crazy, and it's in good condition as well. I mean, I'm not surprised. This is you we're talking about. Of course, it'd be in good condition.
I love pen and paper, guys. I love it. I can probably find in the same place our original Marathon Me schedule for our first 2 marathons.
Oh,
Yeah.
actual.
I'll do some investigating later.
Fuck yeah, let's take a look later. Yeah.
But now that we've both shared our ranking, I want to give like this sort of conclusion before we go into additional things, is that going into this as, I would say, a big Kevin Smith fan, and also being one as like a late teenager and early adult, I think this marathon made me realize something, that I have outgrown Kevin Smith.
Oh, shit.
I would probably, sorry Kev, not call myself a Kevin Smith fan anymore.
Damn.
After this marathon, I'm invested, I'm intrigued, I'm probably going to watch everything else that he ever comes out with for the rest of his life.
I mean, of course.
But I don't think he's for me anymore.
You wouldn't swear by him, you'd say.
I wouldn't swear by him.
Right.
And I think that it's sort of nice, though, that it's making me reflective that I have changed.
Yeah, right.
I'm no longer the same person than I was when I was a big Kevin Smith head.
Damn, man, fucking hell.
Yeah, and I really value what he was able to do to get me into film and, connecting films, and also the whole marathoning fun of movies and finding their connections and things like that.
Oh, completely, yeah.
Sort of I owe that to Kevin Smith. So he doesn't mean nothing to me, but 23-year-old Rhys and going on for the rest of his life, probably not a fan anymore.
Hey, it was nice. Hey, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm giving my Kevin Smith fan club membership card back.
Damn, man.
You can keep it.
I would probably say that, I mean, I've never been as diehard as like you were back in your prime of like, Kevin Smith fandom, but I would say that I find him a lot more fascinating than I did when I was younger. I am interested in seeing whatever he checks out. I've never called myself a Kevin Smith super fan, but I will say that he is a fascinating character of the filmmaking zeitgeist that's even though a lot of the films he makes are inconsistent as fuck, I'm always going to be interested to see what this man will come up with next.
Yeah, and hopefully, to try and preserve the potency of Clerks 3, I hope that maybe it's not anything big that he comes out with next.
Yeah.
Or anything at all.
Valid. No, honestly, valid.
Kevin, maybe just go to bed and chill a little bit. Keep on doing your podcast, keep on doing what makes you happy, but maybe it's time to put the filmmaking to bed a little bit.
Time to close up the quick stop.
Yeah, exactly. Sadly,
just shut down the fucking quick stop. It's been open since 1994, man. Come on.
Randall can't handle. Randall can't handle. That's gonna be that's my motto now for that. He cannot handle the quick stop. So it should probably be closed. And okay. Like we always love to do in these ranking and overviews, is talk about some supplementary content and media joining to Kevin Smith.
God, here we go. It's gonna be a fucking over an hour long because God, he's made so much. A lot of it I have not seen, but fuck, he's done so much extracurricular activities.
We are gonna go straight through it. We're not gonna include all the podcasts because there are legitimately 8 different podcast series that I can think of that fall under the Smodcast, the Smodcast banner.
Yeah, right.
And
could have been 9, but after your whole breaking up with Kevin Smith, he's not coming on the show now.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn it, Rhys.
Because he's got ones that are like with his daughter now.
Right.
He's got ones with Jason Mewes. He's got ones with
Silent Bob.
Yeah. Like, you know, he's got a bunch of different ones with different people that he just loves to talk. So, you know, keep on doing that, man.
Fair, obviously fair enough, yeah.
But I want to talk about first the TV shows. So, for people that do not know, there was a Clerks cartoon series.
Still need to watch it. Fucking hell.
That aired in 2000, and there's only 6 episodes out there, and it's pretty good. It has more freaking artistic style than the freaking super groovy cartoon movie.
It has such it has such an early 2000s look to it. The animation style and just like how it kind of looks and how it's like kind of, I guess, lit, for lack of a better word, but like it's very visually interesting to see.
It feels a little bit almost like an 80s cartoon series in a bit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and it has a bit of like Futurama humor, I believe.
Oh, okay, that's appealing. That's very appealing.
That's my review of the Clerks franchise, and has freaking Brian O'Halloran and also Jeff Anderson.
Very nice.
Voicing their titular roles.
Are Jay and Silent Bob in it?
Jay and Silent Bob are in it.
Okay,
yes,
good,
of course.
Yeah, okay, excellent.
And that is actually worth a watch. All free on archive.com.
Oh, sweet. Fuck yeah.
Archive.org, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to lead people astray.
And another one that I think is worth a little bit of a watch is Comic Book Man, which is his, you know, like porn stars style, like sort of in a store. Workers at this store bartering with customers trying to buy or sell comic books from them.
I'm surprised this wasn't on 7 Mate. Crazy.
Oh, it totally would have been.
The way you describe it sounds like it would have been on 7 Mate.
This was guilty pleasure for me for a while, and Kevin Smith opens and closes the show and then has nothing to do with the actual middle of it.
Right.
It is really turn off your brain, fun nerd content.
Okay, nice.
Some that aren't worth watching. Hollyweed was a pilot that he made in his stoner Kevin Smith era.
That's already the title and just stoner Kevin Smith. I'm like, yeah, I ain't checking it out.
A sitcom about Kevin Smith playing. It was him in his most like titular role that he's written for a very long time, where it's him and another dude working at a weed store in California, and antics go awry.
What if Clerks, but bad?
Yeah, and a sitcom with Kevin Smith as one of the main characters, not very good. It really made me go, I don't know if Kevin Smith is that good of an actor.
Yeah, right.
And also, he's just playing fucking Kevin Smith, you know?
Christ, man. Fucking hell.
Not sure if you were across this, but there was a show that was in the works for a while, got very deep into pre-production, but then got cancelled, which was the Mallrats TV show.
I did not know about this. I do remember that there was talks of a Mallrats sequel. Was this same time as like talks of the Mallrats sequel?
Same time, around sort of Yoga Hosers time.
Oh my god.
Is that Harley Quinn Smith was going to be the main character and play Brody's daughter.
Wow.
And then I guess that
How
he
the fuck's
decided...
that gonna work? She's blonde and Brody and fucking... What's her face have black hair? Okay, Kevin, no wonder it was cancelled.
I don't know. But, you know, it didn't get off the ground, sadly.
Yeah, right.
Morbid Curiosity does keep that there.
Yeah.
But, and then there's also a whole Masters of the Universe show, which is directed and written by Kevin Smith.
I did hear about that. Doesn't He-Man fucking die in the first episode?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I heard about. Yeah. I know people were really angry about that.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty ballsy decision. I've not seen the show, though.
I have no emotional attachment towards He-Man. I have not seen the original nor this one, so maybe, I don't think I'm going to give it a watch, but interesting idea.
Yeah. And here are some appearances of Jay and Silent Bob in other media, like they pop up in an episode of Degrassi, The Next Generation.
I remember my brother telling me about this when we were kids. We're picking him up from visiting my dad, and he tells me that, Kane, I saw Jay and Silent Bob in an episode of Degrassi. Add in a speech impediment, because he had a speech impediment when he was a kid. Sorry, Nicholas, I'm sorry to put you on blast like this. But yeah, so that was a thing, and I remember being like, oh, fuck, is he making this up? I couldn't find it for the life of me, and then I just found the episode literally before we started recording.
It is real.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
And they also appear in the Flash TV show, which we watched that scene together.
Oh, yes.
As well as in that 90s show, that 70s show sequel.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, the most, like, the
Yeah,
shit
the
that
recent
came out
one.
like a fucking year or two ago.
Yes, 100
Fuck
million %.
off.
Yep, and last episode of season 1, a car crashes into the Foreman family home.
Right.
And Red is like, what's going on here? What
Yeah.
happened? And then out of the car comes Jay and Silent Bob.
Wow.
And Jay
okay.
goes, this ain't the quick stop, or something
Oh
like that.
my god,
And-
Jesus Christ.
And then cuts the credits, and then you don't see what happens until next season.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, also, we already mentioned this in, I'm sure, our Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back review, but also, you know, Jay and Silent Bob, they do make appearance in Scream 3. Just gotta get that.
Yep.
Just in case we didn't mention it, I'm sure we did, but just need to get it out in the open if we're talking about cameo appearances from our favorite Stoner duo.
Yeah, Scream 3. Another thing that I want to mention here, which is not really a movie, it's not really a TV show, it's more like a direct-to-DVD special that Kevin did,
Right.
that Kane and I watched one of these together. There's two of them, called An Evening with Kevin Smith.
No, dude, no.
Which is literally just hours of a compilation of Kevin Smith going to different universities to do talks. And so it's almost like stand-up, but it's also like motivational speaking. It's a bunch of different things.
Oh my god.
And man, this has a bit of a cult following, The Evening with Kevin Smith.
Does it?
Yeah.
I mean, we have a bit of a... we kind of followed the cult a little bit, but for different reasons.
Yeah, so Kane and I found this one of the most painful things to watch in the fucking world.
It fucking sucked, and also it's a part of my pile of shit DVD collection that I have.
good,
I still
good.
have it. I still own it.
What I could not deal with was the freaking fans. The fan questions were some of the cringiest shit in the world.
Fucking hell, it was shit. Oh, and also just like Kevin Smith just came off as such a douchebag
Oh
in that
my
fucking
God,
special.
yes.
Oh my god.
And it was sort of like mid 2000s that this came out.
so this was back when he was still like good.
It was probably when he was his fattest, and it was like the sort of Zack and Miri sort of era.
I see.
And so I think that at that point, really confident, before all the podcasting thing happened. So it's like, how do I monetize that I like to talk shit? I guess An Evening with Kevin Smith is how you do it.
There we go.
Yeah. And then I would like to bring up some video games that they appear in.
Right. Okay.
There is one video game called Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl, which you can get on the Nintendo Switch right now.
Wait, what?
It's an 8-bit side-scrolling sort of beat-em-up with Jay and Silent Bob going through a mall.
Is this made from an official company, or is this like more
official.
of a fan? Oh wow!
This is an official Jay and Silent Bob licensed game. But it doesn't stop there, because in development 6 months ago, a trailer came out for another Jay and Silent Bob game, which is also a side scroller, a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more high budget, called Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. Which is unfinished, and weirdly, the actor that plays freaking Trevor, is it Trevor?
Trevor.
In Clerks 2 and Clerks 3.
You mean Trevor? You mean Elias?
Elias, sorry. Because
Trevor
is the
Oh,
actor's
dude,
name.
they got Stephen Ogg from GTA 5 to play Trevor?
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, what, they got Elias in the game?
No, Elias is one of, like, the main creative designers for the game.
Oh, there's no way.
I know, how weird, right?
Good on him.
But I thought that it would just stop there. But in research, there are a lot more Jay and Silent Bob and Kevin Smith appearances in video games. Like, Jay and Silent Bob are now playable characters in Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
It looks like fucking AI, you said.
It does look like AI. It's so strange that it looks really uncanny, but you, I guess, can buy a freaking Jay and Silent Bob pack.
If there's no Snoochie Boochies emote, I don't want it.
Oh, there is. Hardcore
thank
is.
God.
He's like, Jay is saying Snoochie Boochies all the fucking time.
Oh, thank the fucking Lord.
You know what I really, really hope is that if you, as Silent Bob, sort of like win the match and like are on top of the leaderboard at the end of a match, that he says some sort of one line,
please,
inspirational, like, you know what? It's not always about winning, or something like that.
Yes, dude. Fuck yes. No, he just goes to that fucking that Glenn Ross tirade in Reboot.
Oh my god, no! Please no!
Please, yes. That'll be so funny.
But would it surprise you if I told you that is not the first time that Kevin Smith's likeness has appeared in a Call of Duty game?
Oh, okay. Do tell.
He is an Easter egg character that also becomes a playable character in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Zombies.
What?
The second DLC map. Well,
I didn't even
DLC
think
map.
there was zombies in fucking Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, it's the one where it goes really, really weird, and every different zombies map is like a different sort of movie genre.
Right.
Like campy movie genre.
Right.
And the second map, and the first DLC map, is this sort of like cabin in the woods horror. It's called Rave in the Redwoods, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Where it's sort of like a rave is going on in the woods, and Kevin Smith is like your main sort of person that you report to get through to the Easter egg, and if you complete the Easter egg, Kevin Smith becomes a playable character in Call of Duty Zombies.
My fucking God.
We live in a world where there's a video game where you can play as Kevin Smith fighting and killing zombies.
That sounds like just Kevin Smith's wet dream right there. One of his wet dreams right there.
Holy shit, it
fucking
is.
I mean, hey, if we also want to talk about Kevin Smith's wet dreams real quick, he also does make a cameo appearance in 2003's Daredevil, starring our good friend Ben Affleck.
He does?
He does. I sent you a photo of it on text. I rewatched the 2003 Daredevil movie because the new Disney Plus series is out. I'm a huge Marvel Netflix Daredevil fan, and I have a soft spot for this shitty 2003 movie. And Kevin Smith shows up as I think a forensic analyst, and he's the one that kind of deduces that the billy club that Daredevil uses to beat criminals with is a cane. He's like, how cool is that? It's basically just Kevin Smith playing himself as a forensics analyst.
What the fuck? That is very, very strange.
I'm surprised you didn't get the message. I sent you it, man.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, my days, man. He's only in one scene, but still, I remember seeing that and I literally started soy facing. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Well, there's one more video game appearance that I've actually played.
Oh.
This one. I've played the most out of any other Jay and Silent Bob things.
Okay, yeah.
And you'll never fucking guess it. I may have told you this before, but in Lego Batman 3,
right,
Kevin Smith is a minifigure that gives you missions in the Batcave.
What the fuck?
And if you complete his quest line, then you unlock the Kevin Smith minifigure.
I can play as Lego Kevin Smith.
Yes. Lego Kevin Smith. Is that not bizarre?
Not since being able to play as Lego Blur and Lego Rock Band have I been so happy.
What the fuck?
Oh my days, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, and also Kevin Smith did have a little bit of an acting career in the way that he's in Live Free or Die Hard.
Oh yeah, he is with our boy Justin Long.
Yeah, he's in the TMNT movie that came out in 2007.
What?
Yep. He sure is, and he's also the sort of comic relief best friend in a romantic comedy called Catch and Release.
Never heard of it.
Which is a romantic comedy that has the sort of main cast. It's him and Timothy Oliphant and fucking Hilary Swank. Oh, no, not Hilary Swank. Jennifer Garner.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
Is that not real? Is that not bizarre? I'm going to show you the movie poster right now. Look at this shit.
Oh, my fucking... Yeah, this just looks like every fucking... Yeah, rom-com from the 2000s, early 2010s, but I like Timothy Oliphant.
It's actually interesting. It's not too bad, but still strange.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it, yeah.
Wow, okay.
I watched it years ago, and I didn't think it was too bad.
Okay.
But that's about all of the extracurricular stuff. Besides one thing that isn't too canon in the sort of US universe, that Kane and I watched together.
Oh, here we fucking go.
In our original marathon, is that on Kevin Smith's IMDb, we found something called Clerks XXX, which is a Clerks porn parody that Kane and I sat down together and watched.
Did we... Now, hang on, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we watch the entire thing?
We watched a version that skipped the sex scene.
Okay, so it's like the Pirates of the Caribbean porno that we watched. Yeah,
exactly. Okay. And I think that in my original ranking, this wasn't
yeah.
even at the bottom.
No, yeah, same
This
here.
was my number 13, where Yoga Hoses, Cop Out, and Jay and Silent Bob's Super Groovy Cartoon Movie came below Clerks XXX.
Yeah, I'm the same here. Mine was 13, right up above The Holiday Short, Yoga Hoses, and Cop Out.
Isn't that strange? Beautiful. Isn't that weird? Well, after all of that, I think that we should put this to bed.
I think it's time to, as we said before, close up the quick stop, close up the movies, hang up the iconic Silent Bob trench coat as you would, you know.
Yeah, and do you have any final things to say before I sort of put a cap on this?
Bloody hell, it's a tall order, but I'll step up to the task, Rhys. I'll step up to the task.
Okay.
But I will say that, like, as inconsistent as this series has been, this filmography of our good friend Mr. Smith, it has been. This has definitely been one of the. It is definitely. I'd say this is definitely one of the more series that's kind of hit the hardest, because this is a big full circle moment for us where we've come around from a series that we watched together just for the pure fun of it, just because fuck it, why not, you know?
Yeah.
And now here we are, 5 years later, pretty much, doing this again, reviewing it, talking about it at such a far point in our lives compared to when we were like fresh-faced in our late teens, and, you know, the whole world's ahead of us. And now, 5 years later, where everything's come full circle, and it's nostalgic, it's really heartwarming, in a way heartbreaking as well.
Yeah.
You know, like, so much has changed from the last marathon to now, but I am eternally grateful that, like, we got to revisit this series, this filmography, and you know, come in with a new, fresh perspective, you know?
Yeah. What a fitting way to bookend the podcast as a whole.
Yeah.
I think that if it wasn't for this series, then maybe I wouldn't have gotten the inspiration for us to do this and make this in the first place.
Right, yeah.
Because also, like, I think it was Kevin Smith himself that, like, hearing him say that, like, you know how everyone jokes about, like, oh, everyone has a fucking podcast now?
Yeah.
Kevin Smith is a huge advocate for that because...
Not surprised.
Because of, like, he says that if you have an interest in something, it can be so fucking specific, then there's freaking 6 billion people on this earth, you are not the only person that has this interest. So if you want to make a podcast about it, if it gives you passion to talk about it, then fucking do it. You have nothing to lose. And even if you find a couple of people out there that are on the same wavelength as you, then it's going to feel worth it. And I think that we listened to that and then just said, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're totally right that with this being a bookended way for the podcast, for, like, that has taken us through so many years of our life, it shows us how much we've changed and adapted and become different people to now as when we were yesterday. And as dumb as it sounds to compare two lists of our rankings of Kevin Smith movies together, it's a little bit of a microcosm of just how in flux we are as human beings, and how this podcast has sort of been a time capsule of our own lives and a reflection of who we are in this time of our lives. And I'm very proud of that, man.
Oh, yeah, no, fucking same here, man. Just fucking, like, oh, my days. Like, I could not be more proud of, like, the work that we've put in, and just the sheer audacity that we were just like, you know what, fuck it, let's do this thing, you know?
But listeners, stay tuned for more sappy, sentimental Kane and Rhys talking about Marathon Me, because we've got one more episode left. Our final episode, which is the one that's coming at you next week. And please enjoy the end of Marathon Me.
Good night, everybody.
He told me I seen it right, but it always falls. I see.
And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Marathon Me Official, all one word, and our Instagram, MarathonMe_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the arse.